There was a gentleman that I met a few years back. And for this story, I'm going to just call him Tom. It's not his real name, and that's okay. There's this gentleman that I met at a real estate conference a few years ago, and he ended up giving me a phone call just recently. And when he gave me that call, it was kind of out of the blue. And he's like, hey, do you remember me? And I'm like, not really. I think so. I kind of recognize the name. I kind of recognize the story, but it's been a while. And he was raising money for a real estate project that he was doing or that he wanted to do. It was a smaller project. It was a land development deal with just a couple of properties on the land development. So they were basically, it's called entitling it and subdividing it and allowing that property to be able to have multiple different units. And then they were going to build on one of them and sell everything to be able to make a little bit of money. And it sounded like a good project. So I said to Tom, that sounds good. How much do you need? What's going on? And he basically mentioned to me that he was having a really hard time raising money. And I asked him why. And he said, it's because when people have reached out to me, they don't seem to be able to trust me, even though I have all this experience. And I thought to myself, what is he talking about? Why can't people understand? And I'm like, are you active on LinkedIn? Are you active on Facebook? Like, what's going on? And he goes, oh, no, I don't have any of that. I've got my website. And I pulled up his website and it was very dated. It was built a long, long time ago. And so I looked at the website. I looked into everything that I could find of him. And he didn't really have anything good to say about him. And so I asked him, why don't you have a social media presence? Why aren't you active there? And if we shorten the story with Tom, I found out that this guy seemed and felt to me to not quite, I just didn't know why I didn't want to work with him. Now, there's no proof that he did anything good. And there's no proof that he did anything bad. The issue was, I don't think I had the ability to feel good about Tom. And I don't think any of the other people that wanted to work with, that were thinking about working with him, had the ability to see him in good light. And it's because his website was a little bit outdated. And most importantly, he had absolutely zero social media presence. And so I couldn't find anything out about him. And so do you know what I said to Tom? I said, good luck. I'm out. I said, I'm out. Good luck. I hope you get this done on time. He basically wanted to borrow some money, leverage it against a certain property. And it couldn't pass the sniff test for me. And I believe wholeheartely that the big reason why is because I couldn't see his pictures. I didn't know if he had a family. I didn't know what he was into. I didn't know if he had a good reputation or bad reputation. So I immediately was out. As with those other potential investors that he said, he had been calling lots of people before calling me and nothing panned out. So as you understand, as you know, we are talking about the 3 pillars of influence. There are 3 pillars. And as a reminder, think of it as a 3-legged stool. If one of those legs is a little bit longer or a little bit shorter, you'll probably be okay. You'll still be able to sit on that chair. It might be less comfortable. You might slide off eventually, but you will be able to sit on that stool, that 3-legged stool. When we talk about these 3 pillars of influence is you having influence on the other people, is your ability to bring them from where they are to where you want them to be. That's what influence is all about. And if you don't have these 3 pillars, at least pretty equally, you're screwed. So thinking of this, there's a know, like, trust piece of the 3 pillars. There's the know piece, the like piece, and the trust piece. In other words, there's the thought leadership piece, the social media piece, and the in-person or one-on-one piece, because you could do that on Zoom. On this episode, we're talking about social media. So that's really the like piece. It allows people to know, like, and trust you. And one of the things that it does the most is allows them to be able to like you. Now, if they don't like you, it's going to be real hard to trust you. If they don't know you, it's going to be real hard for them to trust you.